When I was 8, I had my first existential crisis. I was in the car with my mom debating whether I wanted to be a writer or if I wanted to travel the world. In my mind, I couldn't do both. My mom just sort of looked at me strangely before saying, "Why don't you become a travel journalist?" The car went silent for a solid minute before I, ever so gracefully, replied, "That's a thing?" From that moment onward, I've been doing everything in my power to gain experience and opportunities to help me reach my goal. I've joined writing contests, public speaking clubs, student council, yearbook, drama, pageants, mental health awareness committee, basketball team, started volunteering, got a year-round job, became an honors student, and even wrote my first full-length book. As you can imagine, my life can be pretty chaotic at times. And just like 10 to 20% of Canadian youth, I suffer from mental illnesses. More specifically, anxiety and depression. So how do we balance a life full of once-in-a-lifetime opportunities while also maintaining our overall well-being? The idea came to me when I had someone ask if I was taking on too much and if I needed to drop a couple of things to prevent myself from becoming too stressed. I paused and realized that, no, I didn't. Although I do have days where I become super overwhelmed and everything seems to catch up on me, I have miraculously managed to do everything I mentioned earlier and still have time to hang out with my friends. The question that remains now is, how do I maintain this balance and still be sane? To oversimplify matters, it's all about two things. The first one is passion. There is not a single thing that I do not enjoy. I love my job and helping others and speaking out on matters that need to be discussed. I love pageants and performing and finding things to do at school. Ideally, we all end up in careers revolving around things that we love. So in the meantime, why not fill up our schedules with things that will look incredible on our future resumes while also being things that we currently love? And I'm sorry, but being from a small town isn't an excuse here. As a girl who comes from a ridiculously small school, grad class of 50 students, and it's in the middle of nowhere, trust me when I say that opportunities are there. They're in clubs and community events and connections through teachers and community leaders. And if you're motivated enough, things of your own creation. In 2017, my best friend and I came up with the idea to start a girls' support group in our community. We had noticed there was a ridiculously large lack of resources for students with mental illnesses. We started the group that summer, and it ran for an entire year, providing a safe place for girls to come to. Opportunities to do the things that you love are there. You just need to go out and find them. When we do this, we become more adaptable. In order to be successful in today's ever-evolving society, you need to be able to be determined, and you need to have the grit and motivation to get to where you want to be and prove to others that you deserve to be there. This is the foundation that is necessary for these sort of skills to grow. You learn things such as motivation, organization skills that help make these opportunities possible. These are all traits that we see within persistent leaders, a role that I think you'll find resonates inside anyone who follows these ideals. The second point is time management. Now, I know we all love to procrastinate. I myself am guilty. But being able to manage your time is an incredible skill that can take a lot of stress off of your shoulders. Take a look at your normal day and evaluate which parts of it you get the most work done or when you feel the most motivated. For me, it's between the times of 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. These are the times of day when you should be doing anything that you may have been avoiding. For the rest of your day, just go out and enjoy life, whether that be with a club, event, or a job. Just remember my first point and make sure that's something you love. Now comes the important part. Do all of this, but make sure you save at least an hour or two to just take care of yourself. Do what you have to do to be the best you. It could be as simple as showering or even just doing one of your favorite hobbies. Personal time is a priority and something that you deserve. If you have to, schedule that time in. On a normal day, I relax between 6 to 7 p.m. and 10 to 11 before I go to sleep. But on a crazy day, I usually only get in that hour before I go to bed. Notice how I still make sure I get that time in though. If you've had a particularly chaotic or emotionally draining day, it is absolutely acceptable to just do nothing and focus on taking care of yourself. Remember that while seizing life's opportunities is important, nothing should come before your own health. Without a healthy mentality, it is easy for things to fall apart and become overwhelming. There have been numerous times in my life where I've tried to juggle my busy lifestyle while also battling the stigma around depression. Due to society painting people with mental illnesses as introverts who are isolated and brooding, and for a lack of better words, emo, I didn't think that I could have one. I'm extroverted, I'm involved, I'm motivated. Therefore, I can't be sad. That's not who I am. But when I heard someone giving their testimony about their journey with depression, I suddenly realized, wow, I can relate to this. So I went to my guidance counselor and I told her about my symptoms, only excluding the fact that I was having suicidal thoughts on a daily basis. And she told me that I was just extremely sad. I felt unmotivated, replaceable, and alone, despite being surrounded by an army of friends who were there supporting me. With the belief that I was too outgoing to be depressed, I didn't reach out for help, and I attempted to continue living life as I always had. The result was always the same. Panic attacks, quiet tears, and deadly thoughts would consume me whenever I had a weak moment and life would change or there was the slightest piece of negativity. I wouldn't have survived those times if it wasn't for my friends and family who were an incredible support group for me. When it comes to maintaining your health and your sanity when taking on the world, you need to know yourself and make sure that you are okay. Find a routine coping mechanism or activity that works best for you. These should all be reevaluated every now and then to make sure that they still work for you and where you are now. Knowing yourself is one of the best tools that you can have. You need to be able to recognize what makes you happy and add more of that to your life while minimizing what adds to your symptoms. I can't emphasize enough just how important this is when it comes to maintaining your health. Kyle Francis says that in order to live your full life, to meet your full potential, you can't live life in comfort. You've got to take some risks. And I believe as though that summarizes my thoughts on this subject perfectly. You can't realize who you truly are until you've uncovered every single one of the pieces that you are composed of. And you can't do that until you break free of all the restraints that are holding you back and fully embrace all of life's challenges. Sometimes I have people ask me how I knew what I wanted to do at such a young age, to which I always say that I simply followed my heart and did what made me happiest. When I say this, sometimes I get asked, okay, well, how do I know what makes me happiest? How do I find my passion? Well, I hate to tell you, but you can't do it by staying at home and binge watching Netflix. You have to go out and try new things, shake up your normal routine, and explore. When we do this, you'll discover things about yourself that you didn't even know existed. This is how we take charge of our futures and discover our best selves. By sustaining a balance of things that are new and a routine that keeps us grounded. Every day should be different from the last. When we are surrounded by things that make us happy and therefore help us maintain a positive mindset, and we know ourselves better than anything else in our lives, there is nothing that can stop us. We are constantly growing as people. We must evolve with society. Sustaining this cycle of personal growth is the key to a joyful life and the key to unlocking the true you. Thank you.